there, my crafty friends. It's Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stampin AF. First off, my apologies for this being late. Second off, I am so sorry for the shadow that's above me. It is a really overcast day, and I've got two lights that are on in front of me, but I needed the one above me and it's casting shadows, so I'm so sorry. So this video should have been live yesterday, but so much prepping going on. I had Crafting Connect to prep. And if you're not sure what that is, I will leave the link to the group below. But this is our first one using the gorgeous leaves. It is a monthly class. It'll be on Zoom. It is open anywhere in the world, but only in Canada can I sell the product and give you the physical kits. Anywhere else, you can purchase the PDF and then you can join the Zoom meeting and watch, or you can watch the replay. But only in Canada can I sell this, and like the kit and the product. So like I said, gorgeous leaves. Next month, in the month of November 2021, we will be using Peaceful Cabin, and I can't wait to show you the designs. So I do have 2 extra kits for that. So if you're in Canada and you're watching on the day this is filmed, which is Tuesday, October 12th. Yes, I said Tuesday. I'm so sorry. But like I said, the prep for Crafting Connect was nuts. I've had so much going on, so I'm sorry. I was going to create this on last week's live stream, but I had a flare-up of tennis elbow, and now it seems to be better. I'm using my left hand to do my die cutting, but I wanted to show you this. It is using like every Halloween set in the mini catalog. It's got some of the new vampire kisses, and I'm doing low carb, so I can't even try them to tell you how good they are. But if you're looking for them, this is what the bag looks like. Sorry, I had it all like crinkled. They are milk chocolate filled with strawberry flavored cream. They look fantastic, don't they? And although it's vampire, there's bats all over here, and it's red and it's purple, and it's just so fun. So I needed to create a quick and easy Hershey's Kiss holder, and one that I hadn't seen before, so that is this. I am going to start with a piece of basic black. Like you can see, I'm going to emboss both ends, but not the middle. Well, maybe a little bit of the middle, with the brick and mortar 3D embossing folder. And then I'm going to show you my little trick for doing the top. And on this one, I did 2 holes. On this one, I actually only have 1. And it doesn't quite line up. So I'm going to show you a trick to try and make them line up better. But I figured I had one on the go, but I want you to see this process. So let's get to it. If nothing else, this will give us the dimensions, right? And I just used some Stampin' Seal Plus to adhere those kisses. So this is, now we are cutting a little bit off the end, so I'm going to go over just a little bit, but let me show you. It is, if we start with 2.5 by 8 inches, we should be good. You can go with 2.5 by 8.5, which is part of a piece of cardstock. So let's see how long this one is. Ooh, 2.5 by 8.5. You can see my trimmer needed a new blade at that point. Okay, so what we are going to do, I don't recall what my score marks were. Let's line that up at 1 and this one at 7.5. So I scored at 3.5 and 4.5. That sounds about right. I made this last week. So last week that I don't remember. Okay, so 3.5 and 4.5. Let's go to 3 5/8 and 4 5/8, just so that I have a little bit to cut off at the end. Okay, so that is all the scoring that we need to do. I will fold these. I'll grab my brick and mortar embossing folder, and we're going to do some partial die cutting. Now, I want these to be the same length, because if you notice, that's what happened on this one. And maybe it's not all that noticeable, but it does slant forward a little bit. So this one is 3 7/8, and that one is 3 5/8. So we're just taking off like an 1/8. It's really not very much. There we go. Now they're even. Even playing field. So we can move that out of the way. The brick and mortar folder is a 3D folder, and I've marked all of mine now with matching label tape, and I put 3D on it so that if when I start doing in-person classes again, someone sees the 3D, they know they automatically need the shim. Plate 4. I don't think there's a name on here. So what I'm going to do is I want my pattern going sideways, and typically we say that this end should be going into your die cutting machine first, but I don't want my bricks going up and down. So I am going to do it this way, and basically if you can just fold it back, you know that you're only getting the top. You might miss just a tiny bit, but I'm going to go like that. Bring this in so you can see me do it. I'm going to take my very worn plate 3 and plate 2 out. I'm going to put my embossing folder in. I want to make sure that I haven't moved it. And then we'll put plate number 4 in, and we're off to the races. Big clunk. So just in case you want to see that again, we'll do the other side. So again, just going to line it up, make sure that that score line is free, and then you can kind of millimeter your way up just so that you don't have a blank space. Now you don't want to do this a ton because it will wear on your embossing folder, because honestly that side is supposed to be going in first. But this happened when I was doing my sample too. This is how I ended up embossing on the bottom. The worst thing you can do for your embossing folder is put the seam last, because then all of the pressure from this is kind of getting stuck in there and it has nowhere to go, and then it breaks the seam. Okay, so not perfect, but I don't think anyone's gonna be like, oh my god, I can't eat this. It's not perfect. I should have done my little bit of die cutting first, shouldn't I? So I want to show you, I will punch it now because I've already gone ahead and done it the wrong way. I should have done this part first. Like I mentioned, I did this like a week ago, so I don't even remember. You need to do this part first, otherwise you're really going to flatten that. But can you see what I did here? Usually you would cut it like that. You would be able to see the whole thing. Well, if I want to be able to just cut the top, I'm going to put the rest of that in behind. I'm zoomed in so far you can't see. So do you see what I'm doing? I know I'm going to flatten this out a little bit, but I do want you to see it. If you are concerned with it moving, just grab a piece of washi tape. Okay, so didn't really flatten it too much, and it happens. Oh, you don't want it to rip, but see, so we've got kind of the end that the tombstone treat boxes look like. Now, if you don't want it to rip your cardstock, just stick it to your fingers a couple of times. I didn't think this washi tape was that sticky. Now, here's my little trick. So you want to hold it so that it's even Steven, and then you're going to put that in there and line it up so that they are the same. Now, it's hard to see, but if you can flip it around, see where your sides are, you're going to get a closer, maybe not exactly, but definitely a closer cut than if you just eyeball it. I feel like that moved up just a little bit. It doesn't need to be perfect. This is handmade, not Hallmark. Okay, and then we'll put that through again with, as if we're doing partial die cutting, we just have the plate covering the part that's going to get cut so I don't flatten my embossing. You'd think I was new at this. There we go. So if anything, it's the part that we're not keeping that got flattened. Peel it off very carefully. If it starts to tear, you can try and rip it a different way, but we're gonna have so much going on this that no one's gonna notice that. But again, it's washi tape. Now, I went ahead and I die cut all but one piece. I would highly, highly recommend that you use the adhesive sheets for all of these little pieces. And I'm going to show you where all of these pieces come from, but I want to show you, I've already gone ahead and I've put some adhesive sheet back there. So I'm basically creating a sticker, and I could die cut 2 of these fences, but I'm just going to do 1. But I thought, you're not new to die cutting, right? You don't need to see the whole process. But I do want you to see it would be beyond a pain to have to glue this. Whoops, I missed the bottom, but that's okay. You don't want to have to glue this. So it comes out, it's all one piece. You'll notice that when I start to peel it, all of those little pieces come out. You don't need to sit there with your take your pick tool. It's amazing. Okay, so like I said, I went ahead and die cut all the pieces we were going to need. So if you look at this, we need an owl, and I have used the ombre glimmer paper. I did try using the rainbow glimmer paper, and I didn't like the blue and purple. I mean, it may look cute, but I think I like just the purple better. And then I thought, okay, well, you can't really see the bats. You can tell that they're there, but they don't like pop off. So I thought, okay, let's use some purple. But they're a little too purple, and it's going to be too much with the owl. So I die cut some black bats as well, and I thought maybe we'll try layering them. See how that goes. If it works, great. If it doesn't, we know. But I'm kind of thinking it might be just the shadow that we need to make them kind of pop off the page. And then, oh my goodness, look at this tree. Can you see the definition in this tree? Isn't it amazing? And can you imagine having to glue that? So adhesive sheets to the rescue. I've got my little pumpkin, and that one is the rainbow glimmer paper. Another sticker. And as a final addition, I thought I would do a little ghost, and this is that pearlized paper. I know it's pretty hard to see it, but I thought it would be really cute just coming out of the tree. I have got one of the circles from the Picture This Dies, the round ones. I've done so many cards using those. I have a ton of stitched white circles, which is awesome since we no longer have stitched circles. And then I did use one retired product. This is still the ombre glimmer paper, but I brought in my 1.5 inch circle punch, and I want to show you how I did the moon. It's not rocket science, but I don't know about you. I'm never getting rid of my punches. Never my circle punches. Other ones, sure, but not my circle punches. So I want to show you how I did that. Now, each time that I have done this, and this is a gift for one of my recent classes. I just happen to have one left here. Each time I've done this, I've started with the fence. Now, can you see, remember I was saying that by using the adhesive sheets, all of that was coming off? I didn't have to pull out one of those. The release paper did it for me. There's one that dropped, but you'd have to sit there and pop them all through and try and catch them, and what a nightmare. Okay, so that side is where I didn't emboss all the way to the bottom, so we'll make that the back. Put our little fence, and I just start building my scene. So we'll put the fence and then the tree. And I haven't forgotten, I'm going to show you all the sets that these came from. And it is so unfortunate because so many products are on back order right now, and I just wanted to take a moment to explain. I mean, we're still in the middle of a global pandemic, so shipping isn't what it was 2 years ago. Can you believe it's almost 2 years? But there are some delays, and unfortunately quite a few of them are Halloween and fall items, which is very unfortunate. But it's just how things are going. There are ships that are stuck out in the ocean that can't deliver when we need, and so many things going on. So can you see how easy this is by just adding these stickers? We don't need to worry about glue. We don't need to worry about adhesive showing. It is awesome. Now, I probably should have done my moon before, but I'm going to stick this in, and I'm just going to punch again. And how awesome is that? We've got like the best little moon. There is no adhesive on here, so I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid glue, and then we'll tuck it in under that tree. You want it to kind of stay on the holder. It could go off the top, but pull this branch up so that it goes on top of the moon. And you would think because these little branches are so small that they would be fragile, but I mean, you saw that I was just able to pull that out. What's next? We need to make sure we leave enough room for our sentiment. We're going to bring in some cute stars, but let's put our bats on. Now, I am thinking, I'm going to peel off the purple. I'd love to be able to color these, but I have found that when I tried coloring glimmer paper, it didn't stay. I used my Stampin' blends, but it kind of took the finish off the paper and did not accomplish at all what I had thought. Look at my nails match the black glimmer paper. Who doesn't love black nails? I did not plan it so that my nails match the glimmer paper, but I mean, it's October and I love black nails. Okay, look how stinking cute that is. We get the little shadow underneath that makes it stick out just a little bit without being too much. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you like it with or without the purple? I hope with, because now I'm doing the rest of them. Going to put one more down, and then the third one will be on the tag. Is that sticky? No, it's not. I might have gotten just a part. Actually, I'm going to leave this one for the one that goes on the tag because it only needs to be sticky on one wing. Another thing I would love to get your feedback on is, probably could have put him a little higher up. Let's put this one higher up. No, because then it's going to get lost behind the ribbon, right? Let's put this one right here. So I have been doing a weekly video for some time now, and I notice in my analytics that my weekly live streams get more views than my weekly videos. So I would love to know, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the crafting live? Is it something about the projects I'm doing in my weekly videos? Like, if you've ever done this, you know how much work goes into it, like planning the project, filming, making sure the house is quiet enough to film, all of the technology that goes into it. Like, it's a huge undertaking. So I want to make sure that I'm making the best of my time and energy, because I mean, you know, I work a full-time job on top of this. So let me know in the comments, do you prefer the live? Do you prefer the weekly video? Do you love having both? Is it maybe just the projects I'm doing haven't been appealing? I don't know. I'd love your feedback. Okay, so before I forget, we're not done here, but I'm going to take out the You're So Sweet It's Scary and this little spider. So this is the Frightfully Cute bundle. Adorable. I can't wait to use these little potions. I really wish we had a die for a spider, but I've used the tree and the fence from here. I've used the owl. I didn't use the stars, but you definitely could. I'm going to use the cute stars because they're much easier. Let's get the sentiment out that I said I was going to get. You can see I've only used the two. I was not going to get this bundle, but you know, peer pressure. So I'm going to stamp that in Memento. And then we'll stamp the spider in Highland Heather, but stamped off. I know I've still got to show you the other two bundles, but let me get this stamped while this bundle is out. Okay, so I just let it sit for a couple of seconds, give it a little light rock back and forth, and I get a perfect inking. If you do it too fast or you rock it too much, it won't go well. Okay, so Highland Heather. Highland Heather. I'll just stamp that off on my grid paper. That's not the best. That's better. And I want my spider to be underneath the scary. So that it's not so hard to read. Do you see what I did there? There's no way I'm going to get that back where it needs to be. So I am going to use my Stampin' blend to kind of fix my mistake. It's going to be a little bit darker than I wanted, but means I don't have to start over. There we go. It's just between us. Okay, so that is our tag. We're going to pop that up. So I'll put a couple of the full-size dimensionals. I heard someone mention like recently that the mini dimensionals are thinner. I disagree. I think they are exactly the same height. They are just smaller. What do you think? To me, they are exactly the same height. We are going to put our label on first before we put that third bat. We've still got the pumpkin that I need some dimensionals for. Now, you can have this kind of going off the side. I don't want to cover too much of that bat. I also don't want to have that dimensional coming out there. You could use the black dimensionals. I always forget about those. So I'm just going to cut part of this away. You could tuck it in. You could use minis so that you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so let's put a dimensional on our pumpkin. This one is see-through, so if you don't get that pumpkin placed just right, it kind of spreads apart and then you can see the little bits of white. So cute, right? Okay, so now we've got our third and final bat. And he is just gonna kind of go right there. You can leave that, this side, that wing loose. Just trying to figure out what side it was. The left. Okay, offset just a little bit. There we go. And if it ends up sticking to the base, that's fine. I am loving it with the purple underneath. So now you can use Tear & Tape or Stampin' Seal Plus. I'm going to use Plus, but you do have to be careful. I don't know if you have this problem, but my Stampin' Seal keeps coming over to the side. And it can rip your cardstock, so I go slow and I don't press too hard. Okay, so we're going to start with the one in the middle. And you can dry fit these first if you want. They are going to stick out just a little bit. And you can see that it's not entirely permanent. Like once you have it down, doesn't mean it's never coming up again. Okay, so there we go. Looks pretty good. Give it a little push. I love how they have the vampire there. Like you never have to guess what flavor this is. So I think I'm going to do, should I do 1 or 2 dots? Holes. I really like how that one looks. So let's try it. And if they're not perfectly centered, oh well. So you're just going to use a smaller hole punch. One of my team members sent me these Fiskars. This is more than an 1/8, I think. Or maybe this is an 1/8 and the other one's a 16th. But regardless, just use a smaller hole punch. Try not to punch your moon or any of the other elements. Give yourself a little bit of room there. And it's funny, the black and white gingham ribbon is finally back in stock, but it was out so long, I didn't have any. So long, it's only been around for like 2 months, but I didn't have any, and now I've got like 2 extra rolls. I don't want it to run out again. Okay, so with a hole this big, it's not difficult to thread your ribbon through. If you do have any difficulties, I suggest using a floss threader. I usually have one handy. I have dental floss, a floss threader. No toothbrush in here, but maybe one day. So just use one of these. They're in with the orthodontics stuff. And then you just put your ribbon in the end and push it through and voila. Try and get that laying flat. And then I like to turn it upside down. I don't know what it is. Can you hear that bird? That obnoxious bird. I don't know what it is, but tying a bow upside down seems to make it go better. You don't want to cover your sentiment, so... Oh my goodness, bird. So try and maneuver it so that you don't have it covering too much. If you end up having really tiny bows, then so be it. You could have super long tails. This bird wants to be the star of the show. He's like, not wants to, is. There we go. So the only other thing we have left is our little ghost. And if you notice, this little ghost has 3 dots, 4 dots from the die. If you don't like those dots, like I don't like those dots, you can always run it through your plate again without the die, and that should flatten it. But I didn't take the time. They didn't bother me enough this time. And a little hack for you, if you want your ghost to have black eyes, put a little dimensional behind there. Now, I'm not popping this one up, so I'm not going to do that, but I am going to be strategic in where I put this so that it has little black eyes. There we go. It's just kind of flying in front of the tree. How stinking cute is that? Oh, cute stars. Cute, cute stars. I'm going to use the orange ones because I want them to stand out. Definitely not the black ones. And I am finding, and I don't mean to knock these things, but I think that because the glue dots are so tiny, like I wish we could get glue dots that small, I keep finding these things all over the place. I'm like, hey, which project did you come from? You're supposed to be on that, not on my floor. But I have found that they come off quite easily, so just be warned. Oh my goodness. I really want to know in the comments below, which one do you love? Do you love just the black bats where you kind of have to look for them? Or do you like that little hint of purple underneath so that it pops right off? Probably going to retie this bow so it doesn't cover so much, but I love it. If you create this, I would love to see it. Maybe you don't have all these dies. Maybe you have different product that you're going to use, but I would love to see it. Please tag me on Instagram at stampedaf. You can email it to me at stampedaf@gmail.com. Send it by carrier pigeon, maybe the bird that's cooing outside my window. However you get it to me, I would love to see it. I thank you so much for watching, and as always, if this was your first time here, welcome. I always wait till the end. I don't know why. But I hope you will consider subscribing. I guess because I feel like asking you to subscribe at the beginning of the video is kind of like, whoa, slow down. I don't even know you yet. I don't know if I like you, right? So I wait till the end. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope you have a wonderful week and happy crafting, my friends. We'll see you soon. Bye. Me again. So I realized after I pressed stop that I didn't show you the other bundles. So we've got Frightfully Cute, which is the majority of what you would need to create this. I mean, you could easily fussy cut a pumpkin and the bats, I guess. But one of the other bundles I used is Sparkle of the Season. And that is for said pumpkin and bat. There is only one bat die in there, but you could stamp them, but it'd be hard to get them to show up. Anyways, that's where those two came from. There's a cute little broom in there. And then the ghost came from Festive and Bright. And now I think, unfortunately, all 3 of these are currently on back order, but they are expected to be back soon. I just want to show you this one because it is so much more than just Halloween. I mean, we've got the witch's hat, but there's this pine bough with the lights. There's these apples, which could be peaches. We've got these adorable little bulbs. Just so cute. Leaves, apples, so cute. And then Sparkle of the Season is going to be great for any season. So many great wreaths. One with holly, one with leaves, one with stars. Just so cute. So, again, have a wonderful week. We'll see you soon. Bye.